Cooking with Tammy family. Today I'm going to show you how to make a delicious, quick and easy sausage parm sub. With that being said, let's get to cooking. First on up to a nice warm pan, all right? Let me see if it's smoking. Okay, it's still warm. It's not hot yet. We're going to add our pork sausages. Find yourself a good brand of sausage, whatever your favorite sausages may be, right? Once that oil comes up to temperature, you're going to add it to the pan and we're going to sear it on all sides. The sausages has a beautiful brown color on all sides. All right, at this point in time, let's take it out and set them aside. As you can see, we have a beautiful brown caramelized bits at the bottom of the pan. This is perfect. We have a ton of flavors locked into this pan. Anyway, we're gonna add our onions to the pan, of course. We're not gonna go ahead and remove any oil because we do have a decent amount of veggies, and at this point in time, we need to saute our onions and bell peppers. Use any color bell peppers, it doesn't matter. The main point is those bell peppers are going to be picking up on all of the beautiful flavors at the bottom of the pan. And we're going to cook our onions and peppers until they become slightly softened, but we want them to remain nice and vibrant. All right, don't worry about those brown bits at the bottom. Once the onions and the veggies start to release their natural juices, it's going to deglaze the bottom of the pan. I'm going to add some of my Yo Who's Hungry seasoning, herbaceous and all-purpose seasoning, all in one. Let's add some all-purpose Cooking with Tammy seasoning. We're also going to add some Italian seasoning. And believe it or not, I am a basil girl, so I want some additional basil. Even though the Italian seasoning blend that I created has basil in it, I just want a little extra. And let's go in for a little heat factor, all right? Let's add some dried chili flakes. We're going to stir everything up. Make sure we combine all of the seasonings onto the bell peppers and onions. This smells good. Whoa! It smells really, really good. All right, we're going to allow this to cook for an additional, I want to say about 3 to 5 minutes, or until the veggies become slightly softened, but not bland in color, right? We want to keep the pop of color going. All right, let's remove our onions and peppers from the pan. Check it on out. This is gorgeous, right? Ooh-wee. Still got that nice color going on. Meanwhile, everything is nice and soft. All right. Smells great. All right, we got everything out of the pan. We're just going to continue to set this to the side. In the meanwhile, let's work on building our beautiful marinara sauce, okay? Now, here's the thing. For that, we're just going to add a small drizzle of oil. Nothing, we're not going to add too much. Nothing crazy. We're going to get some garlic into the pan. Add a good amount of garlic, especially if you're a garlic lover like me. All right, we're going to stir it on up and allow the garlic to pick up on all of the flavors sitting at the bottom of the pan as well. All right, they're gonna become fragrant in a second, simply because the pan is nice and hot, just the way I like it, ready to go, okay? When I cook, I like to cook fast. As you can see, right? I'm like stirring so even when the camera's running, I can't slow down. This is like crazy. But nevertheless, like I said, I like to cook fast. All right, gotta cook with confidence. Let's add some of our marinara. If you don't have marinara, you're going to add pasta sauce, okay? Now, the difference between the pasta sauce and the marinara is simple. Marinara is thinner and it's more homogeneous, whereas the pasta sauce contains more ingredients and it's a little thicker. But so what? You're going to make it work, because once we season, that's all she wrote. It's going to be absolutely delicious regardless to what. So at this point in time, add what you have and leave out what you don't. All right, stir that on in to get it nice and bubbly. Combine the sauce with the garlic. My goodness, the aromatics is definitely souped up at this point, and all we've added was some extra garlic, right? All right, let's add some all-purpose Cooking with Tammy seasoning. We're gonna add some more Yo Who's Hungry. Let's add some Italian seasoning. Gonna add some basil, additional basil, a little bit of pepper flakes. Not too much, right? We want the heat, but we want the kids to be able to enjoy as well. Gonna add just a small amount of sugar to balance out the flavors. However, skip this part if the sugar is not your thing. Let's add some freshly chopped parsley for that nice pop of color. And we're gonna start things up. Not just in the kitchen, but in this pot as well. Stir it on up really good. Make sure everything is perfectly incorporated. All right, at this time, we're gonna bring our sausages back in, and we're also gonna bring back in our veggies. All right, we're gonna slice our sausages on a bias. Now, here's the thing. The reason why we went ahead and cooked the sausages first, and we're gonna cut them later, is simply this, right? If you were to cut the sausages while they were still raw, guess what? You're gonna break the sausage and you're gonna lose all of that moisture. The great thing about the casing is it locks all the moisture inside of the actual sausage, all right? Check that on out. You see when I cut it, how much juice came out of it? All right, don't worry, your sausage is still gonna be juicy. Imagine if you had cut it first and then fried it up. You would have had dry sausages, okay? So this casing is really a protective barrier, if you will. It keeps all of those beautiful liquids locked into the sausage. And the great thing about it is this is gonna become resting juices, all of the liquid that you see there, and it's gonna go right back into the pan, so nothing is gonna be lost. Slice them however you wanna slice them. If you wanna slice them thinly, slice them thinly. If you got to stretch the meal out, then do what you got to do. All right, pecorino romano goes in. Stir that on in. It's going to definitely bring out beautiful flavors within your sauce. If you don't have it, nevertheless, we're going to add some Parmesan cheese as well, and that's going to give it a nice flavor. But if you could get your hands on both cheeses, it would be even better. Alrighty, freshly grated Parmesan cheese goes in as well. As you can see, it's just melting into the hot sauce. My goodness, who could ask for anything better, right? Stir that on in. Add a little bit more parsley. Love to see those pops of color. Give your sauce a taste. See whether or not if you need to add any additional flavors. If you're adding everything that I'm adding, because there's a lot of people who purchased the Cooking with Tammy seasoning, a lot of you guys, and I appreciate every one of you. However, if you don't have the seasonings, try to get your hands on the seasonings. If not, just use your favorite seasonings, and it's going to be delicious as well. All right, that's it. Turn that down, and let's reintroduce our onions and sausages back to the pan. And at this point in time, if the sausages are not fully cooked, we're going to allow those sausages to cook on a slow simmer. We want to keep our sauce nice and thick, simply because we're going to be adding it to toasted bread later. And if the sauce is nice and thick, it creates this barrier that prevents the sauce from making the bread soggy, if that makes sense. All right, you don't want soggy bread, trust me on that one. So make sure your sauce is thick so it doesn't really seep through the bread, which will make the bread soggy. Nothing worse than soggy bread, ugh. It kind of takes away from the exciting moment, if you will. I remember one time that happened to me. That happened to me with Wonder Bread. I forgot what I was eating, right? But it was sauced up. And as I was eating, and I held the sandwich, the bread was literally like stuck to my fingers. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. By that time, all of the filling and everything had already came through the bread. It was crazy. I know what that's like. So we're not going to have that happen to us. No way, no how. Nevertheless, we're going to cover this down, right? We're going to cover it down. We're going to continue to lower the flame just a little bit more because I am cooking on low medium, but I want to cook on low heat simply because I want to be able to allow all of the flavors to intertwine with one another, right? So let's just slow cook this. And once we're done, we're going to come back. I'm going to show you how to make the beautiful garlic butter sauce that we're going to put on our bread. We're also going to pop that into the oven, get that toasted up. And by that time, we should be ready to assemble our sandwich. All right, we're going to use some sub rolls. This is just regular white bread. However, use your favorite Subway sandwich bread. All right, we're going to cut it down the middle as you just saw. If you want to use French bread, Italian bread, you definitely can, whatever works for you. We're going to add some garlic butter to our toast. We're going to toast up our bread, but in the meanwhile, let's add some garlic butter. Unfortunately, you didn't get to see me make the garlic butter simply because I made this prior for the other recipe. But nevertheless, in order to make it, all you need is some melted butter. Obviously, pop it in the microwave, take it out room temperature, however you want to melt the butter, okay? You're also going to add some granulated garlic along with parsley and a little hint of spice if you want to by adding some dried or crushed chili peppers, and that's basically it, all right? We're going to add some of our garlic butter to the bread, of course. And once we're done, we're going to place it into our preheated oven at 400 degrees, and we're going to toast the bread. Here's the thing. If you want to, let's say, maybe toast it on the stovetop, you definitely can as well. Just place it face down and toast the bread up. That's it. But in the meanwhile, I'm going to turn on the stove, get that preheated, because we're going to place our sausage parm back into the oven. So we might as well just go ahead and place it in the oven anyway, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And that's just basically it. As you can see, we have a garlic butter going on. We're going to toast it up, preheated 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 6 to 8 minutes, or because we all have different stoves, right? Or until it's nice and toasted to your liking. That could be 3 minutes, that could be 5 minutes. But anyway, nevertheless, let's toast the bread and come back. Sausage and peppers is finished. Toasted bread, ready to go. So you know what that means? It's time for us to build a delicious sub, all right? We're gonna take some cheese and we're gonna add it to our toast, of course. All right, we're gonna add a good amount of our mozzarella and provolone cheese to our garlic toasted bread. All right, add as much or as little cheese as you want to add. You know what I'm saying? Because it's your sub, right? We work hard putting this together. Let's add our beautiful sausages and peppers to our mozzarella cheese. Wow, this is gorgeous. Let's get the contrast of peppers going. All right. Add another piece of sausage. Gonna finish it off with some more cheese on top. All right, we want this to be melty goodness. We're gonna add some grated Parmesan cheese as well to the top. Gonna take our bread, we're gonna cover it down, slide this on over, and we're gonna place that back into the oven. But first, I'm gonna brush it with some more garlic butter, right? Brush the tops. We're gonna place it back into our broiler at this point in time on low, because we wanna be mindful to keep paying attention to it, because you don't want your toast to burn. Parm is fresh out of the oven, and check it on out. We have all of this gorgeous, beautiful melted cheese just oozing out of the toast. Not to mention, we have our onions seeping out as well. This is beautiful. I can only anticipate it's going to be absolutely delicious, guys. This is going to be good. Whoa! We even have more cheese on this side. This is gorgeous. Let's see what we are working with here. Can't wait to break into this beauty. Ooh wee. This sausage parm sandwich is flavored to the T. Wow. Of course, we all know sausages taste absolutely delicious because we have a ton of spices and seasonings that's infused into the sausage upon creating the sausage, right? But what really carries this over the top is not only our cheeses, right? Because we added our pecorino romano cheese to the sauce. We also added our Parmesan cheese for that nice nutty flavor. The pecorino romano definitely provides that slight tangy, salty, because of course, you know, it's two different cheeses, right? One is nutty and the other one is a little sharper, a little tangy. I gotta be honest with you, not to mention our sauce. My goodness, just by us adding certain ingredients to the sauce, we added our Cooking with Tammy seasonings to the sauce, which brought out ultimate flavor. The pairing, absolutely delicious. Listen here, get your Instacart filled with all of your groceries, and let's make this delicious sausage parm sub sandwich. It's gonna be so worth it. This is not your regular deli situation, and it damn sure is not your regular Italian restaurant sausage sub sandwich. This is on a whole nother level, okay? A whole different planet. Bam, zoom, somewhere out of here. But it's so delicious. Don't forget to get your seasonings Cooking with Tammy. .shop, of course. Grab your seasonings on up. It's going to be worth it. I'm telling you, once you try these seasonings, you're going to be hooked. All right. Nevertheless, I'm about to get out of here, about to create some more recipes. But in the meanwhile, I'm going to go enjoy this sandwich. Thank you so much for tuning in as always. And I will catch you in another video. Talk to you later. Bye, guys.